Hi, this is Greg McCoach, editor of the Mining Speculator. I'm here in Toronto, Canada, at the Metal Investor Forum with Alex Heath, strategic advisor of ValOre Metals. Alex, glad to be here.
Good to be here.
Yeah. So lots going on in the market. I've actually interviewed your CEO before, so he's in delay, I guess, and so you're qualified to do the interview.
Absolutely, he's a busy guy.
Yeah, he is, and I really like him. So I did get introduced to the company, so I know I got a foundational understanding of it. It's not yet a recommendation in my newsletter, but as I told Jim, I'm very interested. Obviously, for new people, it's a platinum group metal story. Correct. So why don't you just give us a basic overview.
Quick overview is we have a PGM project, platinum group metals, in Brazil. We acquired it last year in May, and since that time, the price of palladium has just skyrocketed.
Right.
So it's doing really well. We have 1 million ounces down there, looking to explore later this year to add to that resource.
Right. And I always try to tell people these platinum, palladium are sister metals. They have a very high melting point of 4,000 degrees. Most people, when they think precious metals, they think gold, silver, right? But the precious metals complex is gold, silver, platinum, and palladium. And what people don't realize is that platinum and palladium are 15 times more rare than gold. So if you took all the physical gold above ground in the world and melted it into a giant cube, the cube measures 30 yards by 30 yards by 30 yards. All the platinum palladium, the analogy I use is the Olympic-sized swimming pool. You start pouring all the platinum and palladium above ground, and it only comes up to your ankles, right? So It's rare. And the biggest usage, of course, is in the catalytic converters of our cars for pollution control, and just very, very tiny amounts, just a thin application, and helps in the pollution control. So it's kind of like a wonder metal in many ways. But obviously, you guys have a project that's in Brazil that really has a lot of the qualifications, size, grade, accessibility that investors look for in these types of projects. So what would you like to talk about? What would you like to highlight about your project down in Brazil?
Well, I think there's a number of things that stand out for our project. One you've already mentioned is the infrastructure, access.
Very good.
We're close to one of the largest cities in Brazil, Fortaleza, in northeastern Brazil. Access is excellent. There's 2 paved highways that go through to the property, power lines, water. So great access. It's also very arid where we are, so we can access year-round. There's a 10-month dry season, unlike in the north where they have 6-month rainy season. So great access.
What is the breakdown of platinum versus palladium in this resource? Do you have any kind of understanding of that yet?
It's mostly palladium.
Palladium.
So 2/3 palladium, 1/3 platinum, and a little bit of gold.
A little bit of gold.
Yeah.
Okay. And metallurgically, is there any problems that we know of? Have we done any tests on that?
We're still looking at that. So far, we haven't found anything that's too deleterious. But those are things that we're going to look at as we advance the project.
Right. Yeah, that's always important. Over the years, I learned that lesson the hard way early on in my career as a newsletter writer, and always important to make sure you got that all figured out before we get too far. But thus, from first look, it looks very, very good. So it's definitely a company that's on my radar screen, and I usually have a list of companies that I start to follow, and I start watching things, and certain things develop, either good or bad, that would make me negate it or bring it on board as a recommendation. So you guys are on my watch list.
Great. Close
watch list there. So Alex, let's talk about supply demand with platinum palladium. Where do you think the prices are going for both metals? I understand that palladium's in a short squeeze right now. It's definitely on the short side.
Yeah, they're a little bit different. I mean, palladium we're seeing a lot tighter. We've had 8 straight years of deficits in terms of supply versus demand. Platinum's a little more balanced, and what's happening is that countries like China are increasing their demand for catalytic converters in their cars.
Right.
Plus, because of emissions controls, they're increasing the amount of palladium that they're using in those vehicles. Right. So it's a double factor. It's increasing automobiles plus an increasing load of palladium.
Right. So there's the base metal function you're talking about, and I think the precious metal component hasn't even kicked in yet, right?
Yeah.
So gold's moving first as a precious metal, as it should, as it always does when we start a new bull market. And then once that really gets going, then it spills over into silver, and silver starts to play catch up, right? But then when things get into the super bull market category, which is where I think we're going for precious metals, then platinum and palladium suddenly become precious metals, not just base metals, right? So very interesting dynamic. So yeah, I mean, my question is, will the car companies at some point switch and retool their equipment like they did back in 2007 when platinum was $2,200 an ounce and palladium was under 300? Who knows? But with the tight supply demand and platinum being a little better, maybe they do that. We don't know.
And we're lucky enough that we have exposure to both.
Right, that's it.
So
your company's good. Any company that has a platinum group metals exposure, I think, is a good play right now. So we'll be watching what you guys are doing, and say hi to Jim if I don't see him here at the show.
We'll do.
We'll look forward to watching what you're doing.
Great.
Yep.
Thanks, Greg.
Take care.
You too.
Thanks for coming on.